Hey, Sera. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, Ricky. Hi, everybody. We're really glad you're here with us today.
And today we're talking about something tiny, simple, and not stressful at all. How to find a nice job.
Right. Because job hunting never makes people overthink anything.
So what actually makes a job nice anyway?
We'll talk about that, and we'll also look at resumes, interviews, useful skills, and how to spot real opportunities.
Key vocabulary preview.
Let's start with resume, because that little document does a lot of heavy lifting.
Right. It's like your professional highlight reel.
Exactly. And if it's clear and focused, people can see your skills fast.
I've seen people send the same resume to every job, and yeah, that usually doesn't help.
If you're applying for a marketing job, your resume should show marketing results, not just everything you've ever done.
Okay, interview is another big one because that's where things get real.
Oh, totally.
It's not just a company asking questions, it's also you, checking if the job feels right.
Yes, people forget that part when they're nervous.
Last year, I had an interview with a startup, and I realized halfway through that I didn't want that chaos in my life. I really want to bring up networking because people kind of misunderstand it.
Yeah.
They hear it and think it means collecting business cards and acting fake.
And smiling too hard at boring events.
Exactly. But real networking is just building genuine connections with people in your field.
Right. If you talk to former coworkers, go to events, or message someone politely on LinkedIn, that's networking too. Another useful word is qualification, and this one shows up in almost every job ad. It's basically the skills, experience, or certificates that make you a good fit for the job.
So if a posting says you need 2 years of experience, is that a qualification?
Exactly. And so is something like strong communication skills or a teaching license.
Got it. So maybe you don't have every qualification, but you might still be close enough to apply. Okay, let's talk about salary, because somehow that word gets everyone's attention immediately.
Funny how that works.
It's the money you earn from your job, but people also use it when they negotiate.
Right, and it's not rude to ask about salary at the right time, because you need to know if the job fits your life.
I mean, if the salary sounds great, but the hours are awful, that's a different story.
Exactly, salary matters, but it should make sense with the whole job.
Conversation. Daily life and feelings.
So, Sera, when people say they want a nice job, what do they usually mean?
Honestly, not just a high salary. People want a good workplace, kind coworkers, and a career that doesn't make them cry on Sunday night.
That Sunday night feeling is so real. I think a lot of people start with panic, though. They wake up, open a job app, see 50 vacancy posts, and suddenly forget their own name.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they think, maybe I'll apply tomorrow.
Which is why tiny habits matter so much. Instead of saying, I'm going to find my dream job this week, just say, tonight I'll update my resume for 15 minutes.
That's smart.
Because once your resume is open, it's way easier to keep going.
Yeah, the hardest part is usually opening the laptop and not opening videos of dogs instead.
Ricky, that's a very specific struggle.
I'm just being honest. But okay, after the resume, what should people do next?
I think they should check whether they really match the qualification list. Not perfectly, because almost nobody does.
Right.
But if you have, say, 60 to 70% of the qualification they want, it's often still worth it to apply.
Really?
Yeah, because job ads are kind of like wish lists sometimes. Companies want the perfect person, but they often hire the person who's capable, prepared, and easy to work with.
That actually makes people feel less scared, because a lot of job hunting is emotional, right? You send applications out, hear nothing back, and start wondering if your resume accidentally says you can only communicate with pigeons.
Okay, that would be a very unique qualification. But yes, rejection can feel personal even when it isn't. That's why I like simple routines, like applying to one job in the morning and doing one networking message in the afternoon.
I was going to ask about networking. A lot of people hear that word and immediately want to hide behind a plant.
I know, right? But networking doesn't have to mean walking into a room and pretending you're super confident. Sometimes it's just sending a polite message and asking how someone got into their career.
So it's more about connection than self-promotion.
Exactly.
And I guess that can lead to an opportunity later, even if there's no vacancy right now.
Yes, and that's such an important mindset. A nice job isn't only about the interview or the salary, it's also about whether the workplace fits your life, your energy, and the kind of person you want to become.
I like that a lot. Find a job, sure, but also find a place where you can breathe.
Language breakdown, part 1.
Let's break down that phrase, a nice job, because it's actually pretty vague.
Right, and that's why it's useful in conversation, because people often mean different things by it.
Exactly.
If someone says, "I want a nice job," they might mean good pay, kind coworkers, or a healthy workplace.
So it's nice for your bank account, nice for your stress level, or nice because nobody microwaves fish in the office.
Yes, honestly, that last one matters more than people admit.
Another good line was, job ads are kind of like wish lists sometimes. That means companies list everything they want, but they don't always expect one person to have all of it.
Right, so learners should notice the phrase kind of like, because it makes the comparison sound natural and conversational.
And then there was my favorite image, hide behind a plant.
It's not literal, of course, and it means someone feels awkward or nervous, especially about networking.
Conversation, misunderstandings, and communication.
You know, one big misunderstanding when people apply for jobs is thinking the company sees them exactly the way they see themselves.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, you might think your resume is super clear, but the hiring manager reads it and goes, wait, what did this person actually do?
Yes, because people often write for themselves, not for the reader.
Exactly.
A good resume doesn't just list tasks. It shows your qualification for the role in simple, specific language.
So maybe not worked hard and helped stuff happen.
Please don't.
Fair enough.
Another misunderstanding happens before the interview even starts.
How so?
People see a vacancy and assume they need to match 100% of the requirements. But if you meet the main points, it's often still worth it to apply.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously.
That's actually comforting, because job descriptions can look kind of scary.
Yeah, and sometimes the company is describing their ideal person, not the only acceptable person.
Here's another communication problem. During an interview, some people think they should sound perfect, so they give these polished answers that don't sound human at all.
I know. And then the interviewer can't tell what they're really like in the workplace.
Right, because nobody wants to hire a robot named David from Sale.
Poor David.
He was never real, and somehow, I still offended him.
A better idea is to be honest and clear. You can say what you know, what you're still learning, and why this opportunity matters to you.
What about salary, though?
Ah, yes. The topic that makes everybody sit up a little straighter.
Exactly.
A common misunderstanding is thinking that asking about salary is rude. It's not rude if you ask respectfully and at the right time.
That makes sense.
You're not just choosing a job. You're making a decision about your career, your time, and your daily life.
And what about networking?
Oh, people misunderstand that one all the time.
Yeah.
Networking isn't begging strangers to give you a job. It's building real relationships, asking thoughtful questions, and staying in touch.
Language breakdown, part 2.
One phrase I really like is, the company doesn't see you exactly the way you see yourself.
Right, it's such a useful reminder because your resume may feel clear to you, but to an employer, it might still need context.
Yeah, in your head, you're a genius, and on paper, you're just a person who used Excel once.
Okay, that's harsh, but kind of true. Another great phrase is, some people think they should sound perfect in an interview.
Really? I mean, sounding perfect can actually make you sound stiff, like you're reading from a script.
Exactly. And a more natural goal is to sound clear, honest, and prepared.
And then there's this line. It's building real relationships, asking thoughtful questions, and staying in touch.
That's such a nice way to describe networking because it sounds human, not fake.
5 natural phrases to remember.
Phrase 1 is, I'm looking for a good fit.
For example, I'm looking for a good fit, not just the highest salary.
Nice. And you could also say, this company seems like a good fit for my personality and skills.
Phrase 2 is, I want room to grow.
So this is about future development, right?
Exactly, like, I want room to grow in my career, not just do the same task every day.
And another example is, before I apply, I always ask if the role gives me room to grow. Phrase 3 is, I'm keeping my options open.
Ah, the classic line when you don't want to sound desperate.
Exactly.
You can say, I'm keeping my options open while I explore different job opportunities.
Or, I'm interested in this vacancy, but I'm still keeping my options open.
Phrase 4 is, that sounds like a great opportunity.
Yeah. For example, a smaller company can still sound like a great opportunity if you can learn a lot there.
And when my friend mentioned the opening, I said it sounded like a great opportunity.
Phrase 5 is, I'm trying to get my foot in the door.
So this means getting a first chance, even if it's small?
Exactly. Like, I'm taking this internship to get my foot in the door in the design industry.
And you might say, this part-time role isn't perfect, but it could help me get my foot in the door.
How to study smarter.
If you're studying this topic, don't just memorize single words like interview or salary by themselves.
Right, put them in real sentences, like, I have an interview on Friday, or, the salary matters, but so does the workplace.
And use your own life. If you're looking for work now, say your own version out loud, like, I'm updating my resume, or I'm applying for 2 jobs this week.
Yeah, your brain loves gossip about your own life.
Honestly, that's true.
Another good tip is to replay one short part of this episode and shadow it, meaning you speak right after us with the same rhythm.
That works so much better than staring at a word list for 20 minutes. So learn the language in context, repeat it out loud, and make it personal, and it'll stick a lot faster.
Final vocabulary review.
Let's do a quick review, starting with resume, interview, and qualification.
Sure, like, my resume looks stronger now that I've added my volunteer experience. And the interview went better once I stopped trying to sound perfect.
And for qualification, you could say, I didn't have every qualification, but I still decided to apply.
Next up are vacancy and apply.
Right, I saw a vacancy at a local startup, and I'm going to apply tonight after dinner.
Then we have salary and career. The salary is decent, but I'm more excited about what I can learn. And this role could really help my career in the long run.
Ah, yes, adult life, where we pretend salary isn't the first thing we check.
Fair enough.
We also talked about networking and workplace.
Networking helped me hear about jobs before they were posted. And I want a workplace where people actually support each other.
And the last word is opportunity, as in, sometimes one small opportunity can change your whole direction.
If you're job hunting right now, take it one step at a time. Trust that your English is growing and keep going.
Yeah, you've got more ability than you think, and your next opportunity might be closer than it seems. And that's a wrap for today's episode.
Thank you so much for listening to Vibe English Podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave us a comment. It really means a lot.
We'll see you in the next one. Keep practicing your English.
Bye.
Bye-bye.